You ever feel like you're just on a treadmill at work, constantly chasing that next thing, that next title? Well, today we're going to dig into why so many of us are starting to question that relentless climb and what it's really costing us. And it all kicks off with one really simple question.
So here it is. Are you climbing the right ladder? I mean, it's a simple question, but it's a powerful one. We spend so much of our lives climbing, right? But how often do we actually stop and look up to see if the ladder is even propped against the right wall? Just take a second and think about your own career. Is this climb really taking you where you want to go? Let me paint a picture for you. One that probably sounds way too familiar. Imagine a professional, maybe in their 40s, just grinding away. Their eyes are locked on that next promotion. That's the classic definition of success, right? But then one day, after missing their kid's soccer game for the third time, something just snaps. They just hit a wall. They're exhausted, they're irritable, and they feel totally disconnected from their own life.
And that's when the question hits them. Is this it? Man, that's a heavy moment. It's that sudden gut punch of disillusionment. The realization that the prize you've been chasing might not be worth everything you're giving up. And that one question, that's the turning point for so many people who feel stuck on that same treadmill.
So that feeling, that brings us to our first big idea, the endless climb. Let's break down why this whole pursuit of success can often feel like a journey that just has no finish line.
At the very heart of this problem is something called the illusion of progress. You know the feeling, right? You think, man, if I can just get that next pay bump, that next title, then I'll finally be happy. But what really happens? In reality, it just resets the goalposts. You get there, and for a hot minute it feels great, but then almost immediately you're already looking for the next thing. It's a total corporate hamster wheel.
And what's really interesting is that this isn't just a feeling. The data backs this up big time. This timeline here, it's based on actual research, and it shows just how predictable this trap is. You start at your normal baseline level of job satisfaction. Then you get the promotion, and boom, you get this real but very temporary spike in happiness. But look at what happens about a year later. You're right back where you started. That amazing feeling, it just fades. So this endless climbing, this constant chasing, it builds into a much, much bigger problem. We're talking about burnout. And trust me, the numbers are absolutely staggering. This isn't just about feeling a little tired. This is a full-blown crisis. Okay, first, let's just get some perspective. 90,000 hours. That's the average number of hours we spend at work in our lifetime. Let that sink in. That's about a third of your entire existence. When you spend that much of your life in a state of high-pressure striving, the consequences are going to be enormous.
And here's what those consequences look like. A massive 66% of workers, that's 2 out of every 3 people, report feeling burned out. Another report says the number of employees at risk of burnout is even higher, a staggering 82%. This isn't some small niche problem. This is the reality for the vast majority of us. So you gotta wonder, right? If the climb just leads to burnout, why on earth do we keep doing it? Well, a big part of it is that shiny promise of a reward. But as we're about to see here in the happiness plateau, those rewards, they often fail to deliver what we think they will.
All right, let's tackle the biggest myth of all, that more money equals more happiness. The reality? It's way more complicated. Look, money is obviously crucial for meeting our basic needs, but the research shows its ability to buy happiness has a ceiling. Some studies point to a plateau around $75,000, while newer ones suggest the gains slow way down around $500,000. The key point is this: beyond a certain point, more money just doesn't deliver more joy. And hey, remember that promotion trap we talked about? This chart just drives the point home perfectly. You can see it clear as day. Here's your job satisfaction before the promotion, here's that immediate spike right after, and then back to the baseline a year later. It's a perfect picture of that short-lived high. It promises a permanent change, but only delivers a temporary feeling. Okay, so if chasing promotions isn't the answer, then what is? Let's switch gears and talk about something that actually works: work-life balance. And these benefits aren't just fuzzy feelings. They are totally measurable. We're talking higher productivity, better physical and mental health, way lower stress, and improved relationships with the people who actually matter. This isn't about being lazy, it's about being smart.
And this is what it's all been leading up to. Our final and honestly our most important section, redefining your success. We've talked a lot about the problem. Now let's get into the solution. How do you actually get off the treadmill and start living? So here are 4 concrete, actionable steps you can take. Number 1, redefine what success means to you, not your company. What actually makes you feel alive. 2, set firm boundaries. Learning to say no is a legit superpower, and it protects your time. 3, make your well-being non-negotiable. That means sleep, exercise, time with loved ones. And finally, number 4, seek fulfillment somewhere else. Find a passion project, volunteer, learn a new skill, something that lights you up that has nothing to do with work.
I want you to let this next one really sink in. It's okay to plateau at work if it means you are thriving in life. Let me say that again. It is okay. This isn't a sign of failure or laziness. It's a sign of wisdom. It's a sign that you understand what truly matters.
So here's the bottom line. Work is a part of life, but it isn't your whole life. Chasing joy, meaning, and connection, that's where true success is found. So I'll leave you with one final question to think about. What's one small step, just one thing, you'll take this week to stop chasing and start really living?